Hi everybody, so I'm back with another tutorial. I'm going to show you today how to make the smaller version of my koala bear. If you haven't seen the bigger version, check them out. It's on my channel. It's a two-part tutorial. I am going to make this little one exactly like this. So I'll be using 2 rows of red for the body and then 2 rows of pink. For this guy, you're going to use about 544 gray bands, about 593 for the body, and 15 black bands. I am going to use 2 4mm by 7mm pony beads. You could use black bands, which I will show you if you don't have the pony beads. I'm also going to use just my hook. I'm going to use a C-clip for my stitch marker and some stuffing. So I'm going to get started. Round 1 of the ears, what we're going to do is 5 single crochets in the magic ring. So turn your loom, I'm going to use my loom, so turn your loom upside down. We're going to take a single band and wrap it around the bottom peg 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. You're going to grab your hook and reach in, go inside, and grab one band and bring it through. Put the other end on your hook. You're going to bring this band over and bring it to the side. Go back in, grab your second band, and bring it through. Put the end on your hook, and now you have 3 loops. You're going to bring these 2 over and bring it to the side. Go back in for your third band, bring it through, on your hook, and bring these 2 bands over. Bring it to the side. Go in, your fourth band, and bring it through. On your hook, and bring these 2 bands over. Bring it to the side. Go back in for your fifth, bring it through, and bring these 2 bands over. I'm going to use my C-clip for my stitch marker, so I'm just going to attach it to my band around my hook and remove off the loom. You should have 5 stitches. First thing I'm going to do is move my bands around so that they're nice and even. Counting 1, 2, 3, 4, and the one on your hook is 5. Round 2 of the ear, what we're going to do is add 2 bands to each chain around. So at the end of this round, you're going to have 10 stitches. So going in your first chain, we're going to add 2 bands, but one at a time. So bring it through, on your hook, and slide. Go back in. The same stitch, adding your second rubber band. Going on to the next stitch, we're going to do the same thing, adding 2 rubber bands, one at a time. You're going to complete this pattern all the way around. Next stitch. 1, and going back in, 2. Your next stitch, going back in, and your last. So now you should have 10 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and the one on your hook is 10. Never count where your stitch marker is. That's the band that's around your hook. So you can remove your stitch marker and add it to the band. For round 3 of the ear, all we're going to do is add 1 band to each chain around. So at the end of this round, you're going to have 10 stitches, so I have 10 bands here. Going in my first stitch with 1 band. Moving on to the next stitch, adding 1 band. Next stitch, 1 band. All the way around, just adding 1 band to each chain. Your last band, you're going to do a slip knot to tie it closed. band. We're going to do a slip knot. So you're going to slide it through all the bands that were around your hook, grab the end, and tie it off. You can remove your stitch marker. Now we're going to close the ear together. And what we're going to do is I'm going to use 5 rubber bands, and I'm just going to do slip knots to each of these chains. So where your slip knot is on the ear, you want to go through the chain on one side and the chain on the other side. Grab a band and just bring it through. Grab the other end and do a slip knot. We're going to go to the next 2 chains on one side and the other side. Grab another band and bring it through. Right beside it. Right beside that. And for your last one, you're just going to grab the 2 chains that are right at the side of the ear and bring a band through. So this is what you should have. Please pause the video and make yourself another one. Round 1 of the leg. This is what it's going to look like when you're done. I'm going to show you how to do one, and then you're going to have to pause the video and make yourself another leg. This is the pattern that I'll be using. 2 rows of red and 2 rows of pink. To start us off on round 1, what we're going to do is 5 single crochets in the magic ring. So I'm going to use my loom. So turn your loom upside down. You're going to take a single band, the color that you wish. The bottom of my foot's going to be gray. So take a single band and wrap it around 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. We're going to reach in, grab our first band, and bring it through. Put the other end on your hook and bring this band over. Bring it to the side. Go back in for your second band, bring it through. On your hook, you have 3 loops. You want to bring these 2 bands over and bring it to the side. Go back in for your third, bring it through, on your hook, and bring these 2 bands over. Bring it to the side. Go back in, your fourth, on your hook, and these 2 bands over, and bring it to the side. Back in for your fifth, bring it through, on your hook, these 2 bands over, and I'm going to use a C-clip and attach it to the band around my hook. Remove, and you should have 5 stitches. Move your bands around. 1, 2, 3, 4, and the one on your hook is 5. Round 2 of the leg, what we're going to do is increase on each chain. So I'm going to be adding 2 rubber bands to each chain around. At the end of round 2, you will have 10 stitches. So go in your first chain, you're going to add 2 rubber bands, one at a time. Go back in. Moving on to the next chain, 2 rubber bands, one at a time. You're just going to complete this pattern all the way around. Next chain with 2. Next chain. And the next chain. So you should have 10 bands, 10 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The one on your hook is 10. Remove your stitch marker and add it to the band around your hook. Round 3 of the leg, what we're going to do is increase on every second stitch. So the pattern is 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, all the way around. When you get to your stitch marker, you'll be adding 2 rubber bands. So you're going to repeat this pattern 5 times, and at the end, you'll have 15 stitches. So going in your first chain with 1 band. Moving on to the second chain, you'll be adding 2 rubber bands, one at a time. Moving on to your next chain, you're starting the pattern again with 1 band. Next is 2 bands. Repeat again, 1, next 2. And again, repeat. 1, 2 in the next chain. And one more time with 1 band, and your last chain with 2 bands. So you should have 15 stitches now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15 is on your hook. Remove your stitch marker. For rounds 4 and rounds 5 of the leg, what we're going to do is single crochet in each chain around. So you're just adding 1 rubber band in each chain. So in each pile, I have 15 rubber bands. So at the end of both rounds, you should have 15 stitches. I'm going to do round 4 with you, and then you're going to pause the video to do round 5. So just adding 1 rubber band to each chain. All the way around. It's always wise to make sure that you count your rounds at the end, just so everything ends up working out. And the last one, so you should have 15 stitches. You're going to start to see it curl up. You can remove your stitch marker and pause the video and do round 5. For round 6 of the leg, I'm going to continue with the gray color, and we're going to start to decrease. The pattern's going to be 1, 2, and 3 together, 1, 2, and 3 together, all the way around. You're going to repeat this pattern 5 times, and at the end of this round, you're going to have 10 stitches. So going in your first chain and bringing 1 rubber band through. Now you're going to take chain 2, move your hook to the center of this foot here in the middle, and go through chain 3. Grab a single band and bring it through. With your finger, you want to push the foot to the center of the band just to relieve some tension. Grab the other end of the band and bring it through. Repeat the pattern again. 1 band in the first chain. Take stitch 2 and stitch 3 and stitch together. And repeat. 1, take stitch 2 and stitch 3 and stitch together. 1, start again, 2 and 3 together. And one more time. 1 with 1 band, 2 and 3 and stitch together. You should have 10 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Remove your stitch marker. For round 7 of the foot, what we're going to do is decrease again, and at the end of this round you're going to have 8 stitches. I'm changing color, so I'm just going to follow my pattern, and I'm going to change the color, so I'm going to start off with a slip stitch. That's the first important thing. The next is the pattern. You're going to go 1 band in the first 3 chains. Then you're going to take stitch 4 and 5 and stitch together, and then take chain 6 and 7 and stitch together. And then you'll be left with 1, 1, 1. So let's start off in your first chain, not where it's getting pulled. I'm changing color, so I'm going to do a slip stitch. Same thing like doing a slip knot. You're going to bring the band through all of the loops that are around your hook, grab the end, and basically you're tying it off. Go in your second stitch with 1 band. On your hook, slide through. Your third stitch is 1 band. Now take chain 4 and chain 5 and stitch together. Move with your finger. Take the next 2 chains, stitch chain 6 and chain 7 and stitch together. And now you're left with 3 chains. Just add a single band to each. 1, 1. And your last one is with 1 band. You should have 10 stitches. I'm going to count this one with you, not where your C-clip is, and not this little slip knot where I changed color. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Remove your C-clip and attach it to the band around your hook. For rounds 8 to rounds 12 of the leg, what you're going to do is just single crochet in each chain around. I'm going to do round 8 with you and start you off with round 9, just to remind you to, when you're changing color, if you are, to start with a slip stitch. In each pile I have 8 stitches, so at the end of your rounds you should have 8. I have 8 bands, so at the end you should have 8 stitches. So going in your first, I'm using red again. Let me just show you. Don't go where you see my gray here, and don't go where you see my little slip knot here. That's not a chain. So going in the first with 1 rubber band. On your hook and slide through. Your next chain with 1. Your next chain with 1. Your next chain, all the way around. I miscounted my band. Let me just get another rubber band. You should have 8 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The one on your hook is 8. You could remove your C-clip or your stitch marker and attach it to the band around your hook, but just in case I get distracted, I can count my C-clips just to make sure I have enough rounds. So I'm going to go in the next chain and I'm going to start round 9, so not where it's getting pulled, and I'm going to change the color. So I'm going to start off with a slip stitch. So I'm going to slide it through all the bands that are around my hook, grab the end, and then continue the pattern all the way around, adding 1 rubber band. So please pause the video and come back to me when you're done. Just so you know, at the end of round 12, your last rubber band, you want to do a slip knot. So the same thing what you did with the slip stitch, just tying it off. Now we're done with the leg, and I'm just going to show you one little trick. Is if you see a big hole in your areas of your work, all you want to do is just loosen up some of the tension. So right here, I stretch the bands, so you're going to see that hole. What I'm going to do is I'm going to follow this band that's stretched, and right at the bottom, you're going to see a little kind of knot right here. Just take your hook and grab that knot, so it'll be the two little bands, and just give it a little pull. And the hole will just close up. Now what we're going to do is stuff the foot. Remember not to use too much. I'm going to use a pencil to help me stuff. So I'm just going to open it up, use my fingers to add it, and then just take my pencil and push it down into the foot. I'm going to add some for the leg now. And I'm just going to roll it and take whatever's coming out from the top and make sure that your two legs look the same. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use 5 rubber bands. I'm going to use the red color, so whatever you have on top. And what you're going to do is you're going to do slip knots through the chains. So I'm going to start right where I have my original slip knot, and I'm going to go through one of the chains on one side and through the other chain on the other side, right beside that slip knot. I'm going to grab a band and bring it through and do a slip knot. These are the bands that we're going to use to sew it onto the body. The next chain on one side through even of the other chain on the other side. Bring it through, tie it off. Right beside that, through the next 2 chains on either side, and bring a rubber band through. The next 2 chains. So that's just on the side of the leg. And I'm going to go right beside that slip knot we did with another rubber band. Right at the side of the leg. And so this is what you should have. Round 1 of the arm, what we're going to do is 5 single crochets in the magic ring. So I'm going to use the bottom part of my loom. So turn your loom upside down, and we're going to take a single band. I'm going to start off with the gray for the hand, and you're going to wrap it around 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. Now take your first band, go in and bring it through. Put the other end on your hook and bring this band over and bring it to the side. Go back in with your second band, bring it through, put the other end on your hook, and you're going to bring these 2 bands over. Bring it to the side. Your third band, bring it through on your hook, bring these 2 bands over and bring it to the side. Your fourth band, bring it through, 2 bands over and bring it to the side. Go back in for your fifth. Our last band, bring these 2 bands over. I'm going to add my C-clip and remove it off the loom. You should have 5 stitches. Move your bands around so that they're nice and even. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and your fifth is on your hook. Round 2 of the arm, what we're going to do is increase on every stitch. So you're just adding 2 bands, 2, 2, 2, all the way around. So going in your first stitch, you're going to add 2 rubber bands one at a time. On your hook, go back in, with your second band and going to the next stitch, 2 bands again, one at a time. Go back in, going on to the next stitch, 2 bands. At the end of this round, you should have 10 stitches. Next stitch, 2 bands, go back in, and your last stitch, 2 bands. Oops, I dropped my stitches, pick them up, go back in. You have 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 is on my hook. Remove your stitch marker. Round 3 of the arm, what we're going to do is just add a single band to each chain around. So 1, 1, 1, 1 all the way around, and at the end of the round you should still have 10 stitches. So going in your first chain and adding 1 band, next chain is 1, all the way around, 1 band in the next. Just complete this pattern, adding 1 rubber band to each chain. Should have 10 stitches. Remove your stitch marker and add it to the band around your hook. Round 4 of the arm, I'm going to decrease this round. So at the end of this round, you're going to have 7 stitches. So I'm going to make this round smaller. I'm going to change color. So I'm going to start off with a slip stitch. And then the pattern is going to be 1 in the first chain. You're going to stitch 2 and 3 together. Repeat, 1, 2 and 3 together, 1, 2 and 3 together. Where your stitch marker is, you're going to end up with 1 band going through that chain. So going in my first chain, starting off with a slip stitch, just like a slip knot, going through all the bands, grabbing the end and tying it off. Now I'm going to grab stitch 2 and 3 and stitch together. Grab the end. Repeat, 1 in the first chain, take 2 and 3 and stitch together. Starting again, 1, 2 and 3 and stitch together. And your last chain has 1 rubber band going through. You should have 7 stitches. So not where my slip knot is of the red, you're starting on the chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the one on my hook is 7. For rounds 5 to rounds 11 for the arm, we're just going to single crochet in each chain around. So you're just going to add 1 rubber band to each chain. So each of my piles has 7 bands. So I'm going to start off I'm going to do round 5 with you and start off round 6 because I'm going to change color to remind you to do a slip stitch. So I'm going in my first chain, not where you see my gray, that's being used. This little red one here is my slip knot, so it's not my chain. Going through. This is going to be tiny, so just make sure you're going through each chain. Going in the next stitch, 1 rubber band, and if you can't see anymore, just open it up. In the next stitch, 1, my next stitch, 1, Open it up if you need to. Next chain, 1, 1, and 1 in my last. You can remove your stitch marker and add it to the band, and you're going to change color now. So going in your first stitch, or if you are changing color, you want to slide it through all the bands around your hook. And then just repeat going around with 1 rubber band in each chain. Please pause the video and come back to me when you're done. Now what we're going to do is stuff the arm. So just make sure you don't want to use a lot of stuffing. I mainly have the stuffing down in this area and nothing at the top. So I'm just going to take some stuffing. I'm going to use a pencil to help me to stuff. Just going to use my fingers first to put it inside. Roll it out. And I'm just going to use my hook to pull some back up. And now I'm going to use 4 bands to tie it off. So I'm just going to take my slip knot where I tied it off. I'm going to go through with my hook through the 2 chains on either side, right beside the slip knot. I'm going to take a single band and bring it through and do another slip knot. So I'm going to use 4 bands total to tie this off. I'm going to go in the 2 chains right beside it, go through, slip knot. I'm going to go in the 2 chains right beside that, which is kind of the side of the arm here. Bring a band through. And now I'm going to go right at the side of the arm. And do a slip knot. And just make sure that both your arms, basically, they're stuffed the same. Round 1 of the body, what we're going to do is 5 single crochets in the magic ring. So again, I'm going to use the bottom part of my loom, so turn it upside down. You're going to take a single rubber band and wrap it around 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. Now going in with your first band and bring it through on your hook and bring your band over, bring it to the side. Go back in for your second stitch, bring it through on your hook and bring these 2 bands over and bring it to the side. Go back in, grab your single band and bring it through on your hook and bring these 2 bands over. Go in for your 4th band, grab it, bring it through on your hook and bring these 2 bands over and bring it to the side. Go back in for your 5th band, bring it through on your hook, 2 bands over, and attach your stitch marker. I'm going to remove this off the loom, moving my bands around, and you should have 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Round 2 of the body, continuing with my pattern. What I'm going to do is just add 2 rubber bands to each chain around. So going in my first chain, adding 2 rubber bands one at a time, slide through and going back in with my second rubber band. Moving on to the next chain, adding 2 rubber bands, 1 and going back in for 2. My next chain, 2 rubber bands, 1, go back in, 2. Next chain, and my last chain. You should have 10 stitches. Count your stitches, then remove your stitch marker and add it to the band around your hook. For round 3 of the body, I'm changing color, so I'm going to start off with a slip stitch. The pattern is going to be 1 band in the first chain, 2 in the next. So I'm going to increase every second chain. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Repeat this pattern 5 times. At the end of this round, you're going to have 15 stitches. So going in the first chain with 1 rubber band, I'm changing color, so I'm going to start off with a slip stitch, grab the band, and now I'm going to add 2 rubber bands in the next chain, go back in, starting the pattern again, 1 in the next chain, and 2 in the next chain. Repeat, 1 and 2 in the next. Repeat this pattern, 1, 2. And again, 1, 2 in my last. You should have 15 stitches. You can remove your stitch marker and add it to the band around your hook. For round 4 of the body, what we're going to do, the pattern is 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. So every third chain you're adding 2 rubber bands. You're going to repeat this pattern 5 times. I'm continuing with the pink color, so I'm going to go in my first chain, not where my little slip knot is, with 1 rubber band. At the end of this round, you'll have 20 stitches. 1 in the second, and 2 bands in the third. 1, go back in, 2. Repeat. 1 in the first chain, 1 in the second chain, and 2 bands in the third chain. Going back in. Your last stitch where your C-clip is, you're adding 2 rubber bands. So 1, 1, 2. 1, 1, 2. So you should have 20 stitches. You can remove your C-clip and attach it to the band around your hook. Round 5 of the body, what we're going to do is increase on every 4th stitch. So the pattern is going to be 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2. At the end of round 5, you're going to have 25 stitches. So I'm starting off with a new color. So I'm going to go in, grab my first band, and do a slip stitch. Grab the other end. my second stitch with 1 band, my third stitch with 1 band, my fourth stitch with 2 bands, one at a time. You're going to repeat this pattern 4 more times. So it's 1, let's start again. 1 in the first chain, 1 in the second chain, 1 in the third chain, and 2 in your fourth. Just continue this 3 more times. Your last chain where your C-clip is, you're adding 2 rubber bands. So you should have 25 stitches. You can remove your C-clip and attach it to the band around your hook. For round 6 to rounds 11, we are just going to add a single band to each chain around. So in each pile, I have 25 bands. So I'm going to start off round 6 with you, and I'm going to do a bit of round 6, and then you're going to pause the video to continue the pattern. If you are changing color, don't forget to start off with a slip stitch. So just adding 1 rubber band all the way around in each chain. So at the end of each round, you should have 25 stitches. So just adding 1. So you can pause the video and come back to me when you're done. Just go all the way around. For round 12 of the body, what we're going to do is start to make this round smaller. So we're going to decrease. So the pattern is going to be 1, 1, 1, 4 and 5 together. 1, 1, 1, 4 and 5 together. You're going to repeat this pattern 5 times. At the end of round 12, you're going to have 20 stitches. So continuing with my pink, I'm going to go on my first chain, not where I have that little slip knot, and adding 1 rubber band, chain 2 with 1 rubber band, chain 3, 1 rubber band, and now take stitch 4 and stitch 5 and stitch together. Bring it through, move the body to the center of that band, grab the other end and slide. And repeat the pattern again. 1, 1, 1 in the next, 4 and 5 together. Repeat again. 1 band in the first 3 chains, 4 and 5 together. And again. 1, 1, 1, 4 and 5 together. So you should have 20 stitches now. You can remove your C-clip and attach it to the band around your hook. For rounds 13 to round 17 for the body, what you're going to do is just add one rubber band, run one rubber band to each chain around. So you're just going to go 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 all the way around. I'm going to do part of round 13 with you, and then you can pause the video and come back to me when you're done. So because I'm changing color, I'm going to go on my first chain, not where it's getting pulled, and adding one rubber band and doing a slip knot or a slip stitch. In the next chain, just one. At the end of each round, you should have 20 stitches. So in each pile, I have 20 bands. Just going all the way around with one. On your last band on round 17, you're going to tie it off with a slip knot with your last band, and then we're done with the body. So please pause the video and come back to me when you're done. Round 1 of the head, what we're going to do is 5 single crochets in the magic ring. So turn your loom upside down, take a single band and wrap it around the peg 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. With your hook, grab a single band and bring it through. Grab the other end, bring the loop over and bring it to the side. Go back in your second band and bring it through. Bring these 2 loops over. Bring it to the side. Go back in for your third. Bring it through on your hook and bring these 2 over and bring it to the side. Go back in for your fourth. Bring it through on your hook, 2 bands over and bring it to the side. Your fifth. Bring it through on your hook, 2 bands over, and attach your stitch marker to the band around your hook. Remove it off the loom and you should have 5 stitches. You want to move your bands around so they're nice and even first. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 is on your hook. Round 2 of the head, what we're going to do is increase on every stitch. So we're adding 2 rubber bands to each stitch around. At the end of this round, you're going to have 10 stitches. So I have 10 bands here. Take your first band and bring it through. Go back in and add your second band. And just repeat your next stitch with 2 bands. Back in. Your third stitch with 2 bands. Your fourth stitch with 2 bands. And your last stitch. You should have 10 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 is on your hook. Remove your stitch marker and add it to your band. Round 3 of the head, what we're going to do is increase on every second stitch. So the pattern is 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, all the way around. You're going to repeat this pattern 5 times. So going in your first stitch, adding 1 rubber band. Moving on to your second stitch, adding 2 rubber bands. Go back in. And repeat. 1 band in the next chain, then 2 in the next. Go back in. And just repeat this pattern all the way around. So you should have 15 stitches. You can remove your stitch marker, add it to the band around your hook. For round 4 of the head, what we're going to do is increase on every third stitch. So the pattern is going to be 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, all the way around. You're going to repeat this pattern 5 times, and at the end of round 4, you're going to have 20 stitches. So going in your first chain with 1 band, your second chain, 1, and your third chain will have 2. Repeat again, 1, 1 in the next, and 2 in the third. Continue this pattern all the way around. So you should have 20 stitches now. You can remove your C-clip and attach it to the band around your hook. For round 5 of the head, what we're going to do is increase on every 4th stitch. So the pattern is going to be 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2. At the end of round 5, you're going to have 25 stitches. So we're going to go in the first chain and add 1. Your second chain with 1. Your third chain with 1. And your fourth, you're adding 2. And repeat. 1, 1 in the next, 1 in the next, and then 2. And repeat. Repeat this pattern all the way around. And one more time. So you should have 25 stitches. Remove your stitch marker and add it to the band around your hook. For rounds 6, 7, and 8 of the head, what you're going to do is single crochet a single band in each chain around. So you're just going to add 1 rubber band to each chain. 1, 1, 1, 1, all the way around. Each pile has 25 bands, so at the end of each round you should have 25 stitches. I'm going to start off round 6 with you. So just adding 1 rubber band to each chain. And you're just going around all the way with 1. So please pause the video and come back to me when you're done. For round 9 of the head, what we're going to do is add the eyes on this round. So we're going to add a single band to each chain around. So you're going to use 25 bands. We are going to add the eyes on chains 10 and the other on chain 15. So if you're doing with the with the bands, you can pick 2 colors for the eyes. I'm going to move this up and I'm going to show you how to do the eyes. So just grab a single band, black color here, and you're going to wrap it around your hook 4 times. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And you want to slide this onto your gray band. And there's one eye, you can remove, and to do the other eye. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you have 4 loops, and you want to slide this onto a single band. And you can put to the side. If you are doing the beads, which are the 4mm pony beads, you just want to slide the band through. Pinch the band and slide it through. So those are your 2 options. So we're just going to count around, adding 1 band to each chain. When you get to chain 10, we're going to add the eye. So single band, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and now grab your eye. You're going to go through the chain, grab one end of the eye, bring it through on your hook, and slide through. Now you're going to continue counting. 11, 12, 13, 14, and your next is 15, so we're going to add the other eye. So go through, grab the end, and now you're just going to add a single band till you get to your stitch marker. You should have 25 stitches at the end of this round. So I'm just going to count the stitches with you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You should find a little one in there. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25 is around your hook. Remove your stitch marker and add it to the band. For rounds 10 to rounds 12 of the head, what we're going to do is just single crochet in each chain around. So you're just going to add 1 rubber band in each chain. Each of my piles has 25 bands, so at the end of each round you should have 25 stitches. I'm going to do part 10 with you, and then you're going to pause the video to continue the rounds. So just adding 1 rubber band in each chain. You're going to continue this pattern all the way around. just putting one in each chain. When you get around the eyes, if you're using the pony bead, look for that tiny little chain that you'll see. That is one of your chains. The bead is pulling at the chains. After round 12, I'll show you how to fix the eyes so that they're flat with the face just flush. I'm at the other eye, so just make sure you get that little chain in there. Now please pause the video and come back to me when you're done. For round 13 of the head, what we're going to do is you're going to add one rubber band in the first 3 chains, and then you're going to stitch 4 and 5 together. So we're going to make this round smaller. At the end of this round, you should have 20 stitches. Before I get started, I am just going to fix the eyes. So I'm going to go inside where the eye is, and you'll see this little V. So I'm just going to push it through. And on the other side, just going to turn it around, and I'm just going to bring the band on top. Give it a tuck. So starting in my first chain, adding 1 rubber band. The second chain with 1. Third chain with 1. You're going to stitch 4 and stitch 5 together. You're going to repeat this pattern 4 more times. 1, next one with 1, next chain with 1, 4 and 5 together. And repeat. 1, 1, 1, 4 and 5 together. You're going to repeat this 2 more times. My last 2. So you should have 20 stitches now. Remove your stitch marker and add it to the band around your hook. For round 15 of the head, our last round, what we're going to do is decrease again. So at the end of this round, you should have 15 stitches. So I'm going to use 15 bands. The pattern is going to be 1, 1, 3, and 4 together. 1, 1, 3, and 4 together. You're going to repeat this 5 times around, and with your last band, you're going to do a slip knot. So going in the first chain with 1 band, our second chain with 1 band, and take 3 and 4 and stitch together. Repeat 1 in the first chain, 1 in the second chain, and 3 and 4 together. Repeat 3 more times. And with your last band, you're going to do a slip knot. So bring it through all of the bands around your hook to tie it off. You should have 15 stitches now. Please make sure that you do. Remove your stitch marker, and the head is complete. Now we're going to make the nose. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 5 single crochets in the magic ring. So turn your loom upside down. You're going to take a single band and wrap it around your hook, your peg 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. I am using black bands. So you're going to reach in, grab your first band and bring it through. Put on your hook, and you're going to grab this loop and bring it over and bring it to the side. Go back in for your second stitch or your second band, put it on your hook, bring these 2 loops over. Let's go for our third. Bring it through on your hook and bring these 2 loops over. Bring it to the side. Go back in for your fourth, on your hook, and bring these 2 loops over. Go back in for your last band, your fifth, on your hook, and bring these 2 loops over. Remove off the loom. You don't need your stitch marker. You should have 5 stitches. Move your bands around. 1, 2, 3, 4, and the one on your hook is your 5th. What you're going to do now is grab a single band. Well, you're going to go in your stitch first, sorry. You're going to go in your first stitch, grab a single band, and you're going to do a slip knot. So you're going to go through all the loops that are on your hook, grab the end, and slide. Go back in that same stitch with the next rubber band. Bring it through, and you're going to do a slip knot. Grab the other end and tie it off. So your nose is complete. So at this part, you should have all your body parts made. Your 2 legs, 2 arms, 2 ears, 1 nose, your body, and the head. What we're going to do now is we're going to use some stuffing, and we're going to fill the body and the head. I'm going to do the body first. Remember not to overfill it. Mine's not really showing through the bands. And now I'm going to do the head. Now I'm going to show you how to sew the pieces together. The first thing we're going to do is sew the head to the body. And I'm going to use 15 red bands because that's the color that I have at the top of the body. Because our head has 15 stitches and our body has 20 stitches, we have to make it even. So we're going to kind of decrease when we're sewing it. So the pattern that we're going to use is 1 stitch in the 1 band in the first 2 chains of the body, and then you're going to grab 3 and 4 together. So to start you off, what we're going to do is I'm going to go through beside where the slip knot is on the body. I'm going to go through that chain right beside the slip knot. Then I'm going to go in the chain that's right beside the slip knot in the back. I'm going to bring a single band through the head and the body. I'm going to grab the other end on my hook and just slide. My second chain on the body, my second chain on the head, grab a band and bring it through. The other end on your hook, and you want to slide through. Now you're going to grab 3 and 4 together on the body, on the outside of the body. Now you're grabbing, go through the chain on the head, and you're going to grab your band, slide it through the head, the 2 chains on the body, grab the other end and slide. Repeat the pattern. 1, 1, slide a band through. Grab the other end and on your slide. 1 chain on your body, 1 chain on the head. Bring it through and slide. Now grab 3 and 4 together, your next chain on the head, slide through. And repeat. 1 on the body, 1 on the head, bring 1 band through. Again, 1 chain on the body, 1 chain on the head, 1 band through. Grab 3 and 4 on the body, 1 chain on the head, bring it through. Repeat again. 1, 1, 1 band through. One, 1, 1 band through. Grab the end, slide through. Now grab 3 and 4 on the body, 1 chain on the head. Bring it through. Repeat one more time. 1 chain on the body, 1 chain on the head, 1 band through. One, 1, now you're going to grab 2 chains on the body. You're going to see where I have my pink and my red. I'm going to be grabbing those 2 chains. 1, 1, 1 chain on the body, on the head. Now you're going to do a slip knot with your last band to tie it off. Bring it through all of the bands. Oh, I lost it. Bring it through all of the bands that were around your hook. And tie it off. Now we're going to sew on the arms. So you're going to use 2 rubber bands, 1 for each arm, whatever color that you have at the top. You're going to put your arm to the side here, and you're going to kind of find your right placement when you're looking at the front and when you're looking at the side. I'm going to end up sewing my arm underneath, and I'm going to be catching the chains that are on the body. So right at the pink. So I'm just going to make sure this is a right placement. Now, where you have the two loops that are beside each other, those two loops, your slip knots, they're going to go through the same chain on the body. So I'm going to go through when I find my placement, I'm going to go through the two loops that are on the body and then grab my first slip knot and bring it through. I'm going to go through the next chain on the body, grab that slip knot, and bring it through. Slide it underneath your other slip knot. Go through the next chain on the body, grab your slip knot, bring it through, and slide. Now I have my two slip knots, so those are going to go in the same chain. Grab one, bring it through, go back in that same chain, and grab your last slip knot. Slide it underneath. Now we're going to use this band to tie it off. So I'm going to go through the same chain on the body again, and I'm going to grab two of the loops that are on the arm. So I'm just going to, right at the top of the arm on the front, I'm going to take a band and go through all of the loops and do a slip knot. So I have either end of the band and tie it off. Now to do the other arm, again, you're going to find the right placement through the front, through the side, and you're also going to look right here. So I'm going to have it about here. Again, I'm going to turn it upside down and sew underneath. So my two slip knots that are beside each other are on this side. I'm going to go through the first chain on the body, grab my first slip knot and bring it through. I'm going to go through the next chain, grab my next slip knot and bring it through. Slide. My next chain, slide. And my last chain, I'm going to bring those two slip knots one at a time through the same chain. I'm going to go back in that same chain. I'm going to grab two chains at the top of the body, of the arm, and do a slip knot. Go through all of the chains, grab either end, and tie it off. Now we're going to sew on the legs, and you are going to need two bands that are the same color as the bands that you have on the top of your legs. I'm going to do the first one. I'm going to do both of you with you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to find where my two slip knots are that are beside each other. So it's these two. Those two are going to go through the magic ring. So I'm going to find the magic ring, which is right here, the little flower design, and I'm going to basically put my hook through and use that as my first chain on the body. Now when you're sewing, you want to sew kind of on an angle of the body. So just kind of turn it around and look where you're going. So if you go straight, your legs are going to end up going towards the back. So you kind of want to be on an angle. I'm going to grab my first slip knot and bring it through. I'm going to go through that magic ring again and grab my next slip knot. Somehow I let go, and you basically want to slide. Now I'm going to go through the next chain on the body, grab the slip knot, bring it through, and slide. Go through the next chain on the body, grab your next slip knot, and bring it through. Next chain on the body, grab your next slip knot, bring it through. The next chain on the body, grab your slip knot, and bring it through. Now I'm just going to go through right at the side here of the leg, and I'm going to do a slip knot. So at the side here on the actual leg. I'm going to grab a band, bring it through all of the loops that are around your hook, and tie off. There's one leg. Now to do the other leg, I'm going to turn him upside down. So I'm going to have him face the other way, and I'm going to start again in the magic ring. The same loop where we started before. You'll see the flower design. Now, here it's kind of hard for me to tell which ones at the edges that my slip knots, there's two of them. Any two of those have to go through one loop on the body. So I'm actually just going to do it the same way I did this one, with two loops going through the magic ring. So I'm going to go in. Again, you want to make sure that you're going in the same direction as the other leg. I'm going to grab my first slip knot on the leg and bring it through. And slide it through the other. Let me do that again. Going through. There was no other to slide. I grabbed another chain. There you go. Bring it through. Go back in and grab your next slip knot and bring it through. And slide. Go through the next chain on the body. Grab your next slip knot and bring it through. The next chain, slide. The next chain, and slide. And the next chain. Now you want to go through that same chain on the body, and you want to grab the loop on the side of the body, grab a band, and you're going to bring it through all of the chains to do a slip knot. And there's the legs. Now I'm going to show you how to sew the ears on. I deleted my clip by accident, so don't mind this ear and the nose and the mouth. I'm going to show you how to do those in a minute. I'm going to sew this ear on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put at the side of the head, and where your magic circle is, you want it the same row as your eyes. So when you're sewing, try not to push it down, because then you're going to end up being in the wrong spot. So just be gentle when you're putting it on, placing it on. And you also want to make sure that you're going in the same, like at the side of the head, in the same row as kind of the middle of the arm. When you're sewing up the ear, you want to make sure that you're just going straight up. When you get to your last two slip knots where I placed at the top of the head, those you kind of just want to kind of turn in and grabbing the two loops on the head. So I'm just going to get started. I'm going to just make sure I'm in the right spot. I'm going to go through two loops on the body right beside the slip knot that's on the ears. and bring that slip knot underneath. Going up, grabbing 2 loops on the head, grabbing the slip knot and bringing it underneath and sliding underneath this slip knot. Grabbing 2 more loops on the head, grab that slip knot, bring it underneath and slide under this slip knot. Straight up, grabbing 2 loops on the head, grab the slip knot, bring it underneath, slide. Now these 2 slip knots are going to go through the same hole on the head. So I'm going to kind of turn and grab 2 loops on the head, grab 1 slip knot at a time, bring it underneath, slide, go back in that same slip knot, that same loop on the head, grab your other slip knot and slide. Now I'm going to do a slip knot with 1 band, so I'm going to go through the same loop on the head. I'm going to grab 2 loops on the ear, just right at the side, grab a band, and you're going to do a slip knot. So slide it through all of the bands that are on your hook, and grab the end and tie it off. If you find that your band is stretched at the bottom, because I've already re-sewn this one a couple of times, I've lost my clip, so just pull it underneath towards the back. Now I'll show you how to do the other ear. Now for the other ear, again we're going to make sure that our magic ring is right same line as the eye, and when we're sewing it's the same line as the side of his body. My 2 slip knots that are beside each other are right at the top again, but this time I'm going to have to sew upside down. So I'm going to be starting right at the bottom, and I'm going to grab my first chain on the head, my loop, and bring it through. I'm going to grab the next chain on the body, bring my slip knot through. I'm going to grab the next chain on the body, slip knot, bring it through. Next chain, slip knot, bring it through, and slide. My last 2 are going through the same loop, one at a time. I'm going to go through the same loop, grab a chain on the side of the ear, and I'm going to take a single gray band and do a slip knot. Make sure that the ears are nice and even. I have 1 band here that's loose. That was from me stretching too much. So you can just basically bring that through. So just take the chains, and then you can just take all of these slip knots after and just hide them. So you just go through the body or through the head, come out the same hole as all the slip knots and hide them. And do that to all of them. I'm going a little bit fast here and sloppy. And you could do that to each one. Now we're going to sew on the nose. So grab your nose. You're going to use 6 bands, and you're going to start off by putting your hook through this little, just make sure you have it the same way as me. Right beside the slip knot, you're going to have this tiny little chain. So if you have it the wrong way, it's going to be on this side. So just turn it, put your hook through, and basically we're going to start to sew this right about here. So the same line as your eyes, And right here is the center. You'll have like a little opening here. So you're going to grab the band on the face and a single band and bring it through. Grab the other end and slide. Now right beside that slip knot, you're going to have another little chain right there. You're going to want to go through and grab the next loop on the face, grab a band, and bring it through. On your hook, and slide. Now I'm going to turn a little bit, and I'm going to grab the loop. I'm going to start to go down, so right on the face. Oh, sorry. Go through the loops on the nose and right on the face. Slide through, grab the other end, and slide. I'm going to go for the loop right below. So I'm going to go through my the nose, go through the loops, grab them, grab a black band, and bring it through. Grab the end and slide. I'm going to go through the loop on the nose, the loop right beside on the face, and slide. Grab the other end, and I'm going to go through one more chain on the nose, and I'm going to find a chain to go through on the nose, on the face. Slide. This time you're going to do a slip knot, so slide through all. Grab the other end and tie off. And you can just go through underneath to grab the slip knots. Just bring them through. And the other side. Now for the mouth, I'm just going to use a black band and give him a little smile with a C-clip. So I'm going to go through right below, through two of the loops on the face, and grab a black band and bring it through. I'm going to grab the other end and secure it with a C-clip. You could with just a rubber band and do a slip knot, and I'm just going to hide the C-clip to the other side. Now if you find that the arms are sticking up too much, right up, you can remove some of the stuffing. To remove some of the stuffing, all you have to do, I'm going to use just the bottom part underneath. I'm just going to take my hook and grab some of the stuffing with my hook and bring it through. Because I have a little bit too much. Just be very careful. You could restuff it very easily. I'm just going to use my pencil and push it back in. I had a little bit too much in the arms. And you can just keep doing that. If you end up taking it all, just use your fingers, open up the little hole, put it inside, and you should be good to go. And that way they're not sticking up too much. Just hide your slip knots and you're done. I hope you enjoyed Looming with Cheryl. Please subscribe down below. I have a lot more designs to load, and I will see you next time with another. Bye for now.